Folks, Aneal Roney from BowCast, and we're here at my home bow shop here in my garage, and I got my new 2010 Elite Judge. I've shot the Matreo string on this bow several hundred times. It's shooting great. I'm going to actually go through the process of taking the string off today and putting on my new custom aftermarket string. Vapor Trails, what we're rolling with this year, flow yellow and blue. And basically the process is going to be, I'm going to take some measurements and bounce off factory specs the way this bow stands now. So I'm going to look at axle to axle, brace height, cam timing, the actual poundage I'm pulling back, make sure that's all sort of noted. I'm going to actually go through the process of pressing this bow, putting my new string on, and then we'll round back up with those factory specs, make sure everything's good, and then get on to paper tuning and continuing down that path. So let's go. All right, so like I said, we're going to look at these measurements based on the 2010 Judge factory spec sheet that I printed off of Elite's website. I'm going to measure axle to axle, brace height. I'll actually just do a check of what kind of poundage I'm drawing back, and then we'll get this bow pressed and put the new string on. So axle to axle, I basically just run a tape measure. I want to get it at the center of the axle pin all the way down, and the sheet tells me it should be 34 7/8, which it's right on the money there. And as far as brace height, I just kind of come into the center of the burger hole, make sure that I'm right at factory spec. 6-inch brace height on this Judge. We're good there. And we're going to check my draw poundage. I use this Easton bow scale. It's digital, real easy to use than some of the manual ones. So I'm just going to clip this on here. Just going to give it a pull. All right, so we're coming at 71 pounds, 71.4. These bows do come a little bit hot, but that's going to be what I'm going to compare. Once I get this new string on, I want to be at that 71.4 mark or very, very close. So let's get this bow pressed. We'll get the new string on. So right before I put this bow in the press, it's just kind of a quick tip. We all have cell phones with cameras. We have digital cameras. Take a picture of your cams and where the control cables are going to which post, so you have a reference once you get that bow pressed and this old string off. I'm lucky enough today I have Matt's Judge as a reference, but it's better take a picture now and not get confused once you have the bow in the press and trying to get that new string on. All right, so I have my Judge in this new Apple Eliminator press, which I'm really loving working with. But essentially, we got our safety straps on. We're ready to press this down, which I'm going to just go ahead and do, and then we'll get this old string off. All right, I'm going to start by taking off the string here. Pull that. I kind of hold this end right here and bring it to this side, being careful not to let any twists out. This way it'll be ready to go should I ever need it as a backup string. So I'll kind of put those loops right together. I usually just hang them and use a paper clip or a safety pin once I'm ready to store that string. All right, I got my string here. I'm going to take the top piece, just come right around the cam and fish this through the limb here. And once I get through the limb, I'll go ahead and find that post on the back side, seat the loop, and follow the cam back around and out. Once I have that, I'll just kind of give it a little bit of tension to get any kinks out, make sure that's seated down in the cam. I'll come over here to the other side. All right, I'm here on the other side now. I'm going to do the same thing, feed my loop through the limb, then come back around to the string post, seat that loop on there, and again roll that cam over, make sure everything's into that cam track. Now taking some reference photos, you can see here with my control cable, I have a side that's served several inches probably 10 inches. Then a side that's served 4 inches. Very important reference. I'm going to take this 4-inch side on my bottom cam and attach that first. Alright, so what I'm going to do is feed this loop around over and back through the limb to get to this control cable post. Seat that, and then I'm going to go back over to the top cam and get this cable on that post. And I'm just going to take that end, push it around and through, seat it on this control post, bring it around, a little bit of tension, and come back to the bottom cam. And then to finish this configuration, I'm down here at my bottom cam. Just going to come through, roll this cam a little bit so I can seat it. And now both cables are on. It's really that simple. I got my new Vapor Trail string. We started out by taking my existing configuration, looking at that factory spec sheet, taking those measurements axle to axle, brace height, checking my poundage that I was at. We have the string on now. Really next is to look at center shot and get my peep tied in. That'll get me shooting. And then really, you know, one of the benefits of having a press, you know, in your basement or garage is now we can come back and actually look at those factory specs. Make sure now that I put a new string on, I can bounce those back and basically get into more super tuning. And we'll cover that probably on a next video. But for now, if you have any questions about putting a string on a bow, hit the BowCast forums at BowCast.com, and we'll catch you on the next video.